Today's class I will start with uh, reptiles, class Reptilia. Last day we had done about amphibia, so today we will talk about reptiles. So what are with this I will start presenting my screen. Do inform me if you are able to see the screen. Are you able to see?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
great. So today we will be talking about class Reptilia. As you know, like before, you had talked about phylum Chordata, you had a subphylum
Vertebrata.
Vertebrata. Very good. Then, what is next?
Subclass. I think superclass, sir.
Superclass. What?
Nathostomata.
Superclass Gnathostomata. Very good. Then,
Subclass.
class
Oh, sir.
Reptilia. So, what is the characteristic of phylum Chordata? You had the three characteristic. One was presence of
Notochord
notochord,
and
dorsal
nerve cord.
dorsal tubular nerve cord, and third is pharyngeal
Gill slits.
gill slits. Very good. These are the characteristics features of phylum Chordata. Remember this. Then you have the subphylum Vertebrata. What do you have in subphylum Vertebrata? In subphylum Vertebrata, you have the following characteristics: presence of
Vertebral column.
vertebral column. Very good. रीढ़ की हड्डी, vertebral column. Then you have the superclass Gnathostomata. So Gnathostomata means they have got jaws. There are two types of superclasses.
Agnathas and Nathostomata.
Exactly. Superclass Agnatha and first one, and the second one is superclass Gnathostomata. You have these two superclass. Agnathans are jawless. They don't have jaws.
Lamprey, hagfish.
Lampreys and hagfishes. Hagfishes and Gnathostomata, they have the jaws like you. Reptiles. Choal, they have jaws. So this is so they belong to Gnathostomata. And now today's topic we talk about class Reptilia. We had talked last day about class Amphibia. Now we talk about class Reptilia. What are reptiles? So let's go to this part of the whiteboard. So first, the name reptiles it comes creepers. They creep and crawl. They creep and crawl. So the word comes like this: reptile. So in former times, they were placed under amphibia itself. But uh, they were it was later not placed under amphibia, and they were placed under a separate class, Reptilia. They are cold-blooded, that is their temperature, the temperature of the blood is because of their outside temperature. They are cold-blooded. They are 100% terrestrial. They breathe through lungs. 100% they are terrestrial. They breathe through lungs. এটা হচ্ছে one of the most important characteristics. And their body is covered by
Dry scales.
exactly scales, scutes. Scutes are, if you look at turtle, there are regions like this under the shell of a turtle or tortoise. You can see they have got structures like this on their shells. These basically, they are, you can call them as protrusions. They are scutes, or they have small scales, dry epidermal scales. Scales are epidermal, that is they can fall off. So body is covered by scales. This is a very important characteristics. Then, like amphibians, they have two pairs of pentadactyl limbs. They are absent in snakes. But of course, you know, they are this is secondarily lost. This is lost secondarily in snakes. There is a single nasal opening. Okay. One important thing in their circulatory system is the heart is three-chambered. The heart is three-chambered. Incomplete separation of lower ventricle. There is only one exception. Crocodile,
4 limbs.
heart is four-chambered. Then one question comes, there is a hole in the ventricle. Any idea what is that hole? In crocodile, it is known as this is a home task. Foramen of
Magnum.
ফোরামেন ম্যাগনাম তোমার মাথায় থাকে। দিস ইজ, এটা তোমরা বাড়িতে, দিস ইজ আ হোমওয়ার্ক, ট্রাই টু ফাইন্ড আউট। হোল ইন দ্য সেপ্টাম ইন ভেন্ট্রিকল অফ crocodile starts with a P. P দিয়ে শুরু হয়। This will be your homework. Okay. Then, as you know from the heart, a very simplified drawing of a heart, systemic arches come out. One comes out like this, one comes out like this. Well, this is the right systemic arch. This is the left systemic arch. And this aorta comes out and gives blood to the whole of, from here the other, from these arches there are other things, other arteries, they all come out, but they have, you have both the left and right systemic arches present. In birds and in mammals only one systemic arch is present. One, you have the left systemic arch, in the other you have only the right systemic arch, but in reptiles you have both the systemic arches present. Kidney, you know, it's metanephric kidney. Another characteristic is that Mullerian duct, it persists as an oviduct. The in female, and Wolffian duct is retained as vas deferens in males. Now what is this Wolffian duct and Mullerian duct? Let me show you a picture. So let us see. So when you in the embryonic condition, let's use a different color. In the embryonic condition, this is the embryonic condition, this is the gonad you have, and here you have the kidney present, mesonephric kidney present. What happens is that you have two ducts. This blue line, that is the Wolffian duct, and the red line, that is the Mullerian duct. What happens is when it's exposed to male hormones, it converts into male gonad. It gets converted into the male gonads, and this blue Mullerian duct, it gets converted into the vas deferens, and the red line, that was the Mullerian duct before, that disappears in the male. So no male hormones, the other thing happens. The Wolffian duct, it disappears, the female gonad ovary forms, and the Mullerian duct gets converted into the oviduct. So in reptiles, the Mullerian duct persists as an oviduct in female, and Wolffian duct is retained as vas deferens in males. This is what they are going to be, they are meaning by this male field female differentiation. This is a new point. Okay, so the main most important characteristic, therefore the most important characteristic of a reptile is that its body is covered by scales and scutes, and they are cold-blooded, 100% terrestrial. Circulatory chamber is 3-chambered. So these are the most important characteristics. Now let's go to the classification. This classification you have to write according to J.Z. Young, 1981. This is what you have to study in your syllabus. So according to the classification of J.Z. Young, class Reptilia, they are divided into subclass. The first class is Anapsida. This is subclass Anapsida. You have to study about living subclasses. Then you have the subclass Lepidosauria, and another one which is living. There are many dead, the dinosaurs and all, we don't study that. You have the subclass Arcosauria. Briefly, these are the turtles and tortoises. These are the snakes and lizards, and these are the crocodiles and alligators. So subclass Arcosauria has got only one living, and that is one order left. Order Chelonia. Lepidosauria has got two orders left. The first is order Rhynchocephalia. Only one living represented, that is Phenodon. And you have order Lacertilia. They have got two suborders. One is the suborder this is not Lacertilia. I always make this mistake. This is Squamata. Order Squamata. First is suborder Lacertilia, and you have a suborder Ophidia. Lacertilians are the lizards, chameleon lizards and all, and Ophidia, they are the snakes. Among the Arcosarians, only one order is living, and that is the order Crocodilia. Order Crocodilia, the crocodiles and the alligators. So this is the outline classification of reptiles. Let's go to the talk about the chelonians. Chelonia. Before you know, they belong to a known as Anapsida. No temporal arches. Their skull, if you look at older skulls, if you look at a skull, this is the temporal bone above your nose. In diapsid skulls, you have two holes there. They are known as diapsida. And in anapsida, you don't have temporal arches. No temporal arches. You don't have any holes. So this is the character, therefore anapsidans. So their body is encased in a dorsal shield called carapace. Their body is enclosed in a dorsal shield called carapace, and a flat ventral plate called plastron. So let us look at a picture. need to look at a better picture. If you look at this picture, this dorsal plate, this is known as carapace, and this ventral plate here, this is known as plastron. This is this characteristic feature, and the other characteristic feature which are of these are teeth are absent in adult condition. And the jaws are covered by sharp horny plates. That serves as their function of the teeth. Ductus Arteriosus present. Now let us have a picture of what is Ductus Arteriosus. So if you look at a heart, if you look at a heart, this pulmonary artery comes and you have this particular aorta, this dorsal aorta. This is this dorsal aorta. In reptiles, this is the ductus arteriosus, this region. In this patient there is a hole, but this is a this is the ductus arteriosus here. Okay. So this is characteristic of chelonians. Then let us go to the next part. Characteristic features of your Lacertilians or Lepidosaurians. So we are now going to subclass So what is the characteristic features of subclass Lepidosauria? Lepis means scale and saurus means lizard. Lizards. Characteristic feature is presence of two temporal vacuities, that is two holes. Like I said, they have got two holes. This is a characteristics. This is the Y, and among them the first is the order Rinco. I again made this spelling mistake like I made it before. Rinco Cephalia. Let me correct my spelling over here. Rhynchocephalia. So order Rhynchocephalia. Rhynchocephalia basically means like beak like snout, or it's a beak like head. Head is somewhat like this, beak like. This is a beak like head. So example is the sphenodon, or they are known as tuatara. And the other is of course order Squamata. Among the character is cloacal aperture is a transverse slit. Their anus and cloaca, it is a transverse slit. Cloaca, from where their waste products come out, and also eggs or the reproductive thing, that's the cloaca. They have a well developed organ of Jacobson. Then skull bears superior temporal fossa. So this, okay, I've drawn it. This is the superior temporal fossa. Among them, of course, you know who are the suborders. You have the suborder Lacertilia and the suborder Ophidia. These are the lizards, chameleons, lizard, or your Hemidactylus. Ophidian are the snakes like Naja, etc. Lots of snakes are there. So you don't have to read too much of about among of them. Then you have the Arcosarians or the crocodiles. In Arcosarians, skull is diapsid. Let's change a color. So what we have now is order Crocodilia. 4-chambered heart among reptiles. Very powerful tail. Scales are bony, supported by dermal plates known as osteoderms. Okay, let me tell you the name of that hole which connects. Say this is the ventricle and these are the auricles of the heart. Upper auricle, left right auricle, left ventricle, right ventricle, and this is the septum which differentiates. Septum, and there is a hole present, and that is known as the foramen of Panizza. Foramen of Panizza. The question comes, 1 mark question comes. Okay, so with this I stop my sharing and let me get back to the class. So you people have got any questions? Kono question ache? Kono question among reptiles?
No, sir.
Okay, then let's do. Tomorrow we again sit down at 8 p.m. with birds and mammals.
স্যার কাল 8টায় কৌশিক স্যারের ক্লাস থাকে।
কটা? 8টার সময়?
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ।
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা আচ্ছা, তাহলে একটা কাজ করো, 7টায় করো।
হ্যাঁ আচ্ছা।
তাহলে তারপরে কৌশিক স্যারের ক্লাসটা করে নিও।
ওকে স্যার।
ওকে। কৌশিক স্যারের 26শে এপ্রিল বিয়ে। ठीक है भाई। एनी क्वेश्चंस निसाब?
नो सर।
ओके, आशिफा कोई क्वेश्चन है?
नो सर।
अफसर का भी कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं है?
नो सर।
ओके, देन विश यू हैप्पी रिमेनिंग पार्ट ऑफ द डे. कल small class with birds and then we will go again consider another class maybe on Monday or Tuesday. We will think about another class. I will try to finish this as fast as possible and I will give you pass you my all my notes. Okay then, bye bye.